Weather Radio, WZ2504, broadcasting on a frequency of 162.475 MHz from on top of Sonoma Mountain. This broadcast originates from the National Weather Service Office located in Monterey, California, and serves the North Bay counties of Marin, Sonoma, and Napa, as well as the coastal waters from Point Arena to Pigeon Point, including San Francisco Bay. Synopsis for the Central California coast and bays, including the Monterey Bay, Greater Farallones, and Cordell Bank National Marine Sanctuaries. Strong to near gale northwest winds continue on a downward trend to moderate breezes by Monday night. Frequent gale force gusts across the northern coastal waters also diminished to strong by Monday night. Rough to very rough northwest seas around 10 to 15 feet follow in pursuit and subside to moderate by Tuesday night. Moderate seas around 4 to 8 feet prevail thereafter through Friday. The marine forecast for San Pablo Bay, Suisun Bay, the West Delta, and the San Francisco Bay north of the Bay Bridge. For tonight, southwest wind 5 to 10 knots, rising to 10 to 15 knots late this evening and early morning, easing to 5 to 10 knots late. For Monday, southwest wind 5 to 10 knots, rising to 10 to 15 knots in the afternoon. For Monday night, southwest wind 10 to 15 knots, easing to 5 to 10 knots after midnight. The coastal waters forecast from Point Arena to Point Reyes out to 10 nautical miles. Gale warning in effect until 9 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time this evening. Tonight, northwest wind 20 to 25 knots with gusts up to 35 knots, easing to 15 to 20 knots late. Seas 8 to 11 feet wave detail, northwest 11 feet at 10 seconds and south 2 feet at 13 seconds. Monday, northwest wind at 10 to 15 knots, easing to 5 to 10 knots in the afternoon. Seas 7 to 10 feet, subsiding to 6 to 8 feet in the afternoon. Wave detail, northwest 9 feet at 10 seconds. Monday night, northwest wind 5 to 10 knots, backing to southeast after midnight. Seas 5 to 7 feet wave detail, northwest 6 feet at 10 seconds. The coastal waters forecast from Point Arena to Point Reyes 10 to 60 nautical miles offshore. Gale warning in effect through late tonight. Tonight, northwest wind 25 to 30 knots with gusts up to 45 knots, seas 13 to 15 feet wave detail, northwest 14 feet at 10 seconds and south 2 feet at 13 seconds. Monday, northwest wind 25 to 30 knots, easing to 20 to 25 knots in the afternoon. Seas 11 to 14 feet, subsiding to 9 to 13 feet in the afternoon. Wave detail, northwest 14 feet at 10 seconds. Monday night, northwest wind 15 to 20 knots, seas 8 to 11 feet wave detail, northwest 11 feet at 10 seconds. Patchy smoke after midnight. The coastal waters forecast from Point Reyes to Pigeon Point out to 10 nautical miles. For tonight, northwest wind 15 to 20 knots, becoming west 10 to 15 knots after midnight. Seas 6 to 9 feet. Wave detail, northwest 8 feet at 10 seconds and southwest 2 feet at 12 seconds. For Monday, southwest wind 5 to 10 knots. Seas 5 to 8 feet. Wave detail, northwest 7 feet at 10 seconds. For Monday night, southwest wind around 5 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Wave detail, northwest 5 feet at 10 seconds. San Francisco bar forecast. In the deep water channel, mixed seas of 5 to 7 feet at 10 seconds. Across the bar, swell can be more than twice as high across the bar than surrounding waters. Waves are also more prone to break, particularly during strong ebb currents. Maximum ebb current of 2.3 knots at 7:56 p.m. Sunday and 2.5 knots at 8:00 a.m. Monday. The area forecast for the peninsula, North Bay and East Bay. For tonight, mostly clear. Lows from the 50s to lower 60s. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Monday, mostly sunny in the morning, then becoming sunny. Highs in the mid-70s at the coast and around 100 inland. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. for Monday night, mostly clear. Lows from the 50s to lower 60s. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And on Tuesday, mostly sunny in the morning, then becoming sunny. Highs in the mid-70s at the coast to the upper 90s inland. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Tuesday night, clear until midnight, then becoming partly cloudy. Lows from the mid-50s to lower 60s. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Wednesday, partly cloudy in the morning, then becoming mostly sunny. Highs from the lower 70s to mid-80s. For Wednesday night, mostly clear. Lows from the mid-50s to lower 60s. And on Thursday, partly cloudy in the morning, then becoming mostly sunny. Highs from the lower 70s to mid-80s. Thursday night through Sunday, mostly clear. Lows from the 50s to mid-60s. Highs from the lower 70s to mid-80s. Low temperatures tonight and highs tomorrow for these selected cities: San Francisco, 56 and 74, San Francisco Airport, 57 and 80, Redwood City, 58 and 89, Oakland, 58 and 82, Fremont, 59 and 88, Concord, 61 and 101, Livermore, 61 and 100, San Rafael, 56 and 89, Santa Rosa, 55 and 95, Napa, 57 and 90, Fairfield, 63 and 98. The weather overview for the Bay Area and Central Coast: moderate heat risk in the interior through Monday, with some patches lingering through the next week near critical fire weather threat across the interior north and east bays, and the Diablo and Santa Lucia ranges through Monday with elevated fire weather threat through the week. Strong and gusty winds develop over coastal waters north of Point Reyes today. Some offshore winds develop in the North Bay and SF Bay Area tonight through Monday morning. The extended forecast for the Bay Area and Central Coast: Tuesday and Tuesday night, mostly clear. Highs 60 to 95. Lows 50 to 65. Wednesday and Wednesday night, mostly clear. Patchy fog after midnight. Highs 65 to 95. Lows 50 to 65. Thursday and Thursday night, mostly clear. Highs 65 to 95. Lows 50 to 70. Friday and Friday night, mostly clear. Highs 70 to 100. Lows 55 to 75. Saturday, sunny, warmer. Highs 70 to 100. Local temperature reports around San Francisco Bay for 8 p.m. Downtown San Francisco was 70 degrees. Oakland Museum was 78 degrees. Redwood City was 90 degrees. San Rafael was 91 degrees. These are the 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time observations for the San Francisco and Monterey Bay areas on Sunday, August 2nd. At San Francisco Airport, it was clear, temperature 63, dew point 52, relative humidity 67%, northwest wind at 17 miles an hour, pressure 29.78 inches and steady. At Oakland Airport, it was clear, temperature 66, dew point 55, relative humidity 67%, west wind at 13 miles an hour, pressure 29.78 inches and steady. At San Jose Airport, it was clear, temperature 78, dew point 57, relative humidity 48%, northwest wind at 9 miles an hour, pressure 29.77 inches and steady. At Santa Rosa, smoke was reported, temperature 78, south wind at 9, pressure 29.73 and steady. At Concord, it was clear, temperature 90, south wind at 10. At Livermore, it was clear, temperature 85, west wind at 8. At Monterey, it was clear, temperature 61, southwest wind at 9, pressure 29.84 and steady. At Salinas, it was clear, temperature 63, dew point 54, relative humidity 72%, northwest wind at 10. Here are some observations around California and western Nevada. It was clear, with a temperature of 93 at Sacramento, 88 at Reno, 71 at South Lake Tahoe, 77 at Blue Canyon, and 79 at Mammoth Lakes. At San Diego, it was partly cloudy, with a temperature of 72. At Los Angeles, it was cloudy, with a temperature of 70. Sunrise, sunset, and tidal information for the San Francisco Bay Area for Sunday, August 2. The sunset tonight, 8:17 p.m. The sunrise tomorrow, 6:15 a.m. The sunset tomorrow, 8:16 p.m. Tidal data at the Golden Gate for the afternoon and evening hours today and the morning hours of tomorrow. High tide, 3:14 p.m. at 5.43 feet. Low tide, 8:50 p.m. at 1.97 feet. High tide, 2:49 a.m. at 4.81 feet. Low tide, 8:49 a.m. at 0.87 feet. Here are the buoy observations for 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At offshore buoy 6, winds east at 8 knots, pressure 1,000 to 30.1 millibars. At offshore buoy 59, winds north 19 knots, gusting to 23, water temperature 66, pressure 1,023.7 millibars, seas 5 feet every 9 seconds. At Point Arena buoy, winds northwest 25 knots, gusting to 31, water temperature 53, pressure 1,010.4 millibars, seas 7 feet every 9 seconds. At buoy 13 near Bodega Bay, winds northwest at 25 knots, gusting to 29, pressure 1,007.7 millibars, swell 10 feet every 7 seconds. At Point Reyes Wave Rider buoy, water temperature 56, seas 12 feet every 10 seconds. At San Francisco Bar buoy, water temperature 60, seas 5 feet every 10 seconds. At San Francisco buoy, winds northwest at 14 knots, pressure 1,008.8 millibars. At Half Moon Bay buoy, winds northwest 14 knots, water temperature 60, pressure 1,010.4 millibars, seas 8 feet every 9 seconds. At Monterey Bay buoy, winds northwest 19 knots, gusting to 25, water temperature 61, pressure 1,009.6 millibars, seas 8 feet every 11 seconds. At Poinsett, Wave Rider buoy, water temperature 58, seas 8 feet every 10 seconds. At Cape San Martin buoy, winds northwest 12 knots, water temperature 56, pressure 1,010.2 millibars, seas 9 feet